The forest doesn't die in silence. It fades. Tree by tree, call by call, until only echoes remain. Here, in the scars of deforestation, the Amazon is learning to live differently. The great canopy that once breathed in unison now stutters, patch by patch, as the rhythm of life falters. But even in this wounded landscape, the story isn't over. Across the Amazon basin, it is no longer one continuous sea of green. It's broken into islands. Fragments separated by pastures, logging roads, and fields. To the animals that live here, these gaps might as well be oceans. Howler monkeys are stranded in treetops with nowhere to go, and jaguars are forced into smaller and smaller territories. Birds, once able to cross vast expanses of forest, vanish from these isolated pockets, one species at a time. Fragmentation doesn't just erase forest, it isolates life, cutting the web of connections that once held the ecosystem together. When the trees are gone, the rains weaken, and the dry seasons grow longer. Fires that once burned only in grasslands now crawl into the forests. The Amazon, built to be wet, was never meant to burn. Fires don't always roar, sometimes they whisper, creeping beneath the canopy, unseen until it's too late. Each fire doesn't just consume trees, it destroys the soil's memory, baking away the seeds and fungi that once fueled regrowth. For those who live on the frontier, the forest's loss is not just an environmental tragedy, it's a human one. Farmers struggle as soil loses fertility, rivers run muddy and low, their fish dying from heat and sediment. Communities built around abundance now face scarcity. Here, the cost of deforestation is not measured in hectares, but in hunger, migration, and lost tradition. Yet, not everything fades. Some species endure. Opportunists that thrive in the in-between. Capybaras graze in abandoned fields. Herons hunt in flooded clearings. Even as the old forest collapses, a new kind of ecosystem begins to form, one adapted to disturbance. These are the first pioneers of change, the bridge between what was and what will be. They are nature's quiet resilience, holding on until balance returns. Within this cycle of loss, the seeds of recovery already exist. Every fallen tree releases nutrients. Every patch of surviving forest becomes a nursery for renewal. Even as the system teeters, it still holds the blueprint for rebirth. This is the Amazon in transition, not dead yet, but not yet healed. It's a forest learning to adapt, to resist, to regrow. And in the hands of those who still care for it, scientists, locals, and communities who remember the old balance, hope takes root again. The Amazon still breathes, though its voice is softer now. It waits. In the roots, in the soil, in the songs of the few species that remain. The echoes of a changing forest remind us resilience is not instant. It's earned, slowly, quietly, and one leaf at a time. The forest rebuilds itself from memory. More than a quarter of what had been lost in the Amazon today is secondary forest. Land once cleared for farming or pasture that is now returning to green. But it's not just trees that return. Insects, birds, and mammals follow, reoccupying the corridors that connected isolated patches of life. Satellite eyes in orbit track this recovery from above. NDVI, SWIR, and EVI indices reveal the slow pulse of regeneration. A green heartbeat returning to areas once marked by fire and drought. And in the field, soil scientists measure carbon returning to the ground, while ecologists count seedlings, fungi, and epiphytes. Every dataset tells the same story. When given the chance, the forest fights back. Yet recovery is not uniform. Some areas rapidly regrow, and others struggle against compacted soils, invasive grasses, or relentless burning. Restoration takes more than time. It takes protection. Across the Amazon basin, people are reimagining what the future could be. In Amazonas states, small communities plant native tree species that once shaded their grandparents' fields. Women's cooperatives gather seeds, storing biodiversity in handfuls of hope. And students and scientists map degraded zones using drones and GIS, guiding reforestation where it matters most. For every scar left by human hands, there are hands now working to heal. But resilience has its limits. If deforestation and fire continue beyond a tipping point, around 20 to 25% of total forest lost, scientists warn that the Amazon could shift from rainforest to savanna. That transformation would release billions of tons of carbon and alter global rainfall patterns. The future hangs on balance of actions. How much is destroyed and how much is restored? From the air, the networks of green stretches out again like veins refilling with blood. The Amazon is not a place of endings. It is a place of cycles, of decay feeding growth, of destruction feeding rebirth. The forest will not return overnight, but every seed planted and every tree protected, every community empowered, is a promise. A promise that what was lost can live again. As the sun sets over the flooded plains, the forest exhales, a slow, steady breath of renewal. Where the river bends, life begins again.